Come on, we can do this. I'm live. Ugh. Starting to get panicked that we were going to have another day of this. Copy. YouTube has been very slow today, so I'm going to go post our link on jollyrogerukulele.com. I'm so delighted you are going to join us today for uh, um, almost the last class in the Introduction to Ukulele program. And we're playing Aloha Oi today. Aloha A. I don't know exactly the correct pronunciation of that. Luckily, I won't be doing any singing of it. So I like Aloha Oi. That's what I've always said. I understand it is wrong. I have never necessarily cleaned up what the correct answer is. So we'll go with whatever comes out of my face, right? Aloha A, I think, is how most Hawaiian say it. I, 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 I don't know. In any event, we're going to play it, and it's going to be great. Vic says the sound is all good, is all okay today, so we'll go with what we got, and I'm in the process of getting my little gadget to open up, so we'll see if it should already be on here. I've taught this before, so let's see. Aloha. Wait. Aloha A. There we are. Okay, and I don't think I updated your version of that. So, oh yeah, this is the one with the typo. I really, really need to update this version. Okay, so we'll talk about that once everybody gets loaded in. Melissa's in. Melissa was killing it in harmonica earlier today. Vic was too. Vic, yeah, I can. Vic, did you join us for harmonica? I can't remember everybody that joined us this morning. Nancy, howdy, or considering our song. Aloha. Aloha. Every time, a lot of my ukulele players, they're serious about Hawaii. They're dedicated Aloha sayers. So uh, Melissa's loving harmonica. It's so interesting because you go through life, and I was like, when I was a little kid, Dad gave me a guitar, right? And then for about 6 weeks, I was a dedicated guitar player. And then I found out it was going to be hard, and he didn't necessarily have the skills to teach me, and I certainly wasn't going to be getting any private lessons. And so that kind of came and went. And then we had trumpet, and I was going to be a trumpet player, and that. Well, I don't even know how that happened. I think I was told I was going to play trumpet, and so that came and went. And then as an adult, I thought I'm going to play piano. I'm going to learn to play piano, and that I put 10 years into, and I just could never quite get over whatever was holding me back. Learned, got it all up in my head. I just couldn't get it out of my fingers, and then. So that was going to be it. And then I found ukulele, and that is it. Of course, that's the right thing. And then of course you run into baritone ukulele, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, shoot, I can play guitar, so I've been doing that. And then at some point, there's some part of you that's just like, gosh, I just need music to kind of be fun, and I don't have to work so hard on it. And I think that's what harmonica represents, because it's really one note at a time. Really, you can make it more complicated than that. There's guys that have gone through and made it super complicated, but you don't have to. It's just a nice little. Plus, the other nice part about a wind instrument is it really does help you get your breathing together. We're all terrible at that. So, Brigitta, welcome in. Uh, and Donna is here. Yeah, I have two violins. I have an okay one that I bought off of eBay, and I got it up and running, and it's okay. And then I have one. My mother-in-law had an old one, and she's like, "Do you want this?" And I took it to a place, and he got it up, and he's like, "No, this is a nice violin, and it does sound nice." Turns out it is a super hard instrument, but it's definitely fun to go mess around with, and yeah. I must have a very patient wife. I do. I do. I do. I do. When we're at cocktail parties, I make fun of her, but at the end of the day, she has been very, very patient with me over the years. Um, to be honest, she's very much of an A-type personality. She's always going and getting things done and being that type of person. And I think I make a nice foil to her. um, but yeah, I did enough in our lives to not be thought of as a total waste of skin. But definitely, when you become a serious ukulele and harmonica player, there's questions, right? At when you're sitting around, so what do you do? She's this big fancy thing that she does, and then there's me, and I'm sort of the doctor's wife, Yeah, like, well, I'm here because I'm pretty. Oh God, I'm doing piano too. Accumulative knowledge. Yeah, the piano. The nice part about piano is very challenging, but it does give you the music theory that you probably need to go on in music. It just helps put it all together. So, all right, guys, let's. Is that the microphone? That is. Okay, I was wondering what that thing was. Let's play Aloha Oi. Now, I can't sing Hawaiian at all. And so we will not be singing this song at all. But we talk about this from time to time. Hey, what is this going to take to get sound out of your face in the proper timing? And the way we do that is humming. Okay? So no, you can't sing this probably. Da, so they use that as a tool in your one more arrow in your quiver of things that you can do if you're not going to sing to figure out how a song works. Now, before we get too far, we have a typo. So run down to measure 13. I'm sorry, measure 17. You're down very last note. It's an A chord, but on the melody line, I put an F chord and it will sound terrible. So change that to 2100 instead of 2010. So it's 2100. So in other words, you're going to play an A chord at the end. If you play an F chord, it's going to sound pretty horrible. About the fourth time I've said I'm going to update this piece of sheet music and clearly have not yet. So I'll get that done one of these days. All right, so that's your typo. All right, so I'd like to run through the chords. These are from all the way back in the first week, we talked about the kids book that I have, which is the A chord, the D chord, and the E7 chord. Back to A. Now, it just works out that this book ended perfectly, but it is perfectly bookended from way back in the day. I remember I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. Okay, we'll bringing that all the way forward to today, and you'll be like, "This is no big deal. I can't believe that used to be hard." Okay, 4 beats per measure. I will hum it. Okay, if you can sing loud like a nightingale, so that we can all take advantage of your beautiful voice. 1, 2, 3. Ah, hey, ah, oh, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Gee-um, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da, bum, bum, da-da-dum, da-dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-da, bum, ba-da, bum, bum, ba-da, bum, bum. Aloha, eh, aloha, eh. Da da dum da dum da dum ba dum bum bum bum. A fond embrace. A dum bum 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 bum. Until we meet again. 2, 3, 4. Okay. If you're a singer, you would probably sing this quite a bit slower. Da da dum, da dum, ba dum, ba dum, bum. Right, so you'd be nice and slow on that. But so you got a general sense of how the song goes. Not everybody knows this song, and if you're old enough to remember Elvis, then you know this song. But outside of that, you'd have to. The only place this gets played is in Hawaii. The reason I like to teach it, Queen Liliuokalani I always sort of breeze through it real fast, like I know how to pronounce it. Lilio Kalani, I think, was an actual queen of Hawaii, 1878, and she made a mistake. She was a huge ukulele fan. Ukulele was a new instrument then, and she decided she loved it, and she was playing it, and because she played it, this became an instrument that we have today. Probably it just would have been a passing thing, and it would have gone away. But around the 1870s, she decided to have some fellas come to the island, and she was showing them around. And look at how beautiful it is here. We're glad to have you, white guys from the mainland, show up here. Well, it wasn't very long before she was out. They didn't like having a queen, certainly not a queen of Polynesian descent in charge of the island. And then it's been nothing but downhill for the natives ever since then. Not all downhill. They get to live in Hawaii. It's pretty good, right? But unfortunately, the turistas and they call them howleys. They say no, it's not a derogatory term. It's a kind of a derogatory term of us white folk going over there and messing up the island. But anyway, at that point things were going great. She just loved to have the fellas over there for a show them around, and now Honolulu is there. So that's your tune. Very beautiful. Very, don't play it fast. Okay. Now let's play the melody. Okay, you got some fours, you got some twos. A five will show up every once in a while, but really, you're probably thinking about playing in first position, maybe second position, but you do have enough ones that show up. I'm probably just going to start in first position, and then I'll have to move my pinky up to grab that five. But for the most part, we play the whole thing in first position. I'll count to three, and then we'll go. 1, 2, 3. I really apologize, guys. I managed to get through. There's the end chord. Sorry. Gosh, I'm like, don't need to do this. The one thing that strikes me, and I want to make sure you're doing it right because it is important, fours have to be played with your pinky. You don't want to be reaching up with your ring finger and playing the fours. It's going to pull your whole hand out of position. And so I was noticing as I was going through there, I'm like, I'm not positive we've even talked about that. When you see fours, you have to play them with your pinky. And it is, in the beginning, it's not fun. It's not going to go very well. But this is a great piece to really work on that. Like to play it again. Like to make sure the fours are pinkies. And in this song, the way it's laid out, fours and fives are your pinky. So you're going to be getting your pinky together and keeping that busy. On ukulele, a lot of your melody is going to end up in your pinky. And so I find that when I'm teaching a lot or when I'm playing a lot, that my pinky is constantly like, ow, it's just sort of in this permanent state of being worn out because it's got a lot of work to do. And the problem is the ring finger, you can't let the ring finger take over and run the fours because then it pulls your whole hand out of position and then you're going to be constantly missing notes as you're sort of forcing yourself back into position. So let's play this melody one more time. And again, I would rather have you play it poorly and play it correctly than to play it really well with the wrong fingers. Okay, so if it's a four, it's a pinky. Make yourself do it. 1, 2, 3. Let's start again. I don't know where the heck my fingers are. I'm so busy talking about being out of position, I'm out of position. From the top. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. Isn't that pretty? It's just got a great melody. And it's too bad more people don't know this tune because I really, really love it. All right, so now it's time to dig into the tough uke, and then we're in good shape today. We're really knocking things out, and we'll talk about the rest of the week. Uh, the challenge with this song is A chord, which is 1 and 2, looks a whole lot like E7 chord, which is 1 and 2. So as you're reading through the tablature, when you're on A, you've got this, and then your pinky's busy playing the melody. And when you're on E7, your fingers like this, and your pinky's is busy doing the melody. It's really easy to get those off. And so it's not a bad idea on your sheet music, if you need to just take a pencil and write down when you see the tough uke one, kind of just put a little E underneath it, or an A or something, just to remind you. I've never done that because I keep thinking one of these days I'm going to just be able to read through this thing and make no mistakes. But inevitably I'll get up to like measure 11. I'm like 1, 2, 4. What is that one? Oh, that's the E7 with my pinky on 4. And I sometimes I'll grab the A because I see 1 and 2, and so it gets a little bit complicated as you're going through here, making sure you know whether you're on A or E7. They look a whole bunch alike on tablature, just enough difference to make all the difference, but it's real easy to goof those up. Let's walk through it. We'll talk about everything in it, and then we'll play it through a couple of times. Okay, so start off. You've got these eighth notes, so you count in 1, 2, 3. Our tendency is then to go 4, 5 with those, and we got to play them a little faster. Da da dum. Okay, so those 2 zeros are sort of fast. You're gonna have your A chord on and your pinky on 4. And I would now you can either use your ring finger on the 2, or you can pull your pinky back. Either of those is work. I will probably toss my ring finger on that 2, and then you have a D chord right after that. Pinky on 4, let it up, and then you get that 2 there, and then back to your A chord, 3 strings. Rest stroke, make sure your thumb is sitting on the first string, and so it doesn't accidentally go off. Hit the 1 again, and then put your pinky back on to get the 4. Here you switch to just a plain old regular E7. So it's an eighth note followed by a quarter note. So it's dum, bum. And then you're going to have to do this 1 and get your E7 back on. Pinky on 5, pull it back to 4, and then still on the E7. That's a half note, let it ride for a minute. And then O, O, and then back to your A chord with your pinky on 4. 2 with your ring finger probably. D chord, pinky on 4. O, no pinky. A chord, rest stroke. Hit that 1, let it ring for a minute. It's a half note, so then hit the 1. 2 zeros. Measure 7, nice D chord. Ring finger probably to get the 2. then off. E7, pinky on 4. This is going to sound wrong, but it's a passing note, so it's actually very cool once you get good at it. And then pinky down to the high 4, middle finger on 2, and then back to an A. Half note, and then strum it again. And there's your 0 for Aloha, and then D chord, 2 2 2. Full D chord, bar chord on 2, pinky on 5. That's the fancy move. That's the hard one. Okay, you've already got your 2 down, so don't change anything. A chord at measure 10, 3 strings, a nice full strum, and then pinky on 4. Got 2 zeros, so take your pinky up. E7 shape, pinky on 4. You're going to use your ring finger to get the next 2. Put your pinky back on to get the 4. Hit the 0. Now you have a normal E7. Lose the chord. 1, 2, pinky on 5. Draw it back to 4 and add your A chord on. And then lose your pinky. Hit the 0. Back to a D chord at 13. Full D chord. Bar chord, pinky on 5. Hit the 2. Couple of A's. Couple of full A's. And pinky on 4. Hit the 0. There's that weird E7 with your pinky on 4 one more time. Drop your pinky down to the high 4. Then go back to your ring on 2. Pinky up on the other 4. And then A chord. Little arpeggio here. And then I gave you the fancy A chord to finish up. It's a bar on 4 with the F shape in front. Okay. I've decided probably when I rewrite this, I'm just going to put on the low A. I don't think you get enough excitement. I don't think you get enough A-ness out of it. So probably when I rewrite this, I'll just put a regular A on the end. I think it sounds a little more better. All right, we ready? Okay, game face on. We can do this. Not fast. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you guys think? Give me a little feedback about how that's playing for you. I don't give it straws anymore, so I always feel like I'm having to wrestle this coffee out of that. Oh, Melissa says, yikes. Yikes, that was so beautiful. The tears were streaming from her eyes. That's exactly what yikes means. This is, guys, so in the ukulele program, this is called a stretch piece, right? So you go through the whole program, you're here, and it's a chance for you to sort of visit this idea of, okay, all of the music going forward is going to be around this level. This is the top. This is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. A is not a key that we spend a ton of time in. We do spend more of it with my music than other people play in it because it actually fits on the ukulele pretty well. But you got a lot of fours that show up. Nancy says, I was so far behind it was so. So I need to play it slower. So let's play it slower. um, well, Nancy, I don't blame it on you. I blame it on internet lag. That's what it is. It's the internet lagging behind. So it's YouTube's fault. It's not you weren't behind. You were dead on. um, like it. Don't have it yet. Of course not. You shouldn't. I'm still working on it. No, last night it was cute on Trevor Noah was doing something or other, and he had John Mayer on, and John Mayer and whoever else was on there, they started just singing, and John Mayer says, no, ensemble music doesn't work on Zoom. Stop it. We're off beat. And you can just imagine John Mayer like, oh God, these people. This is where we live, right? This is being offbeat is where we live. This is part of who we are. We don't worry about that. All right, a little slower. How about a lot slower? Okay, and then one last time, and then we'll call it a day. 1, 2, 3. Oh, strum. 2, strum. 4, 2. Strum. 1, add your 4. Strum, E7. Strum, 2. 1, strum, 2. 5, 4, E7. Strum. O, A chord, pinky. Strum. 2, D chord, strum, 4, 2, A chord, strum, let it ride, 1, D chord, strum, 2, E7 with your pinky, strum, 4, 2, A chord, strum, D chord, bar D chord, 2, A chord, strum, 4, strum, E7 with your 4, strum, 2, 4, E7, strum, 1, 2, 5, A chord with your 4, strum, no 4, strum, D chord, strum, bar chord, strum, 2, strum, 4, strum, 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 4, A chord, strum, 1, strum. There. Okay. You know what you're supposed to do. Whether you can do it or not is less important. Okay. Beautiful piece of music. I've had a few people take it all the way, but most people don't take it to the house because it's kind of a hard piece. And so it gives you a general sense of sort of what you're going to be dealing with in that next level ukulele. And give you a sense that, hey, if this is a stretch piece, it's okay. It's supposed to be a tough one. It's supposed to wrap this up with a tough one. Let's talk very briefly about your future in ukulele. Tomorrow we'll do Scarborough Fair, which most of you are a little more familiar with the tune, but the music is every bit as challenging. There's a couple of things on it that are real going to keep you busy. We're going to put your pinky back to use again on that one, and so it has every single thing in it is stuff you're going to encounter in other music down the road. But we'll mess around with that tomorrow. And then on Friday, of course, we have concert. So we have your Make a Bed a Bar worksheet, Daisy Bell, Kia de Arpeggio, Aloha Oi, and Scarborough Fair. So we'll have all of those for you on Friday. So over the next couple of days, get that together. Be practicing. If you have time to practice, to go play those a little bit. And then starting next week, I'm going to start the intro program over, but each day I'm also going to pull in another tune from the book 2. So we'll actually have 2 tunes each day, the new member tune and then the next level member tune. Well, I guess level 1 tune and level 2 tune. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to name that stuff. But so we'll be having both each day. So that way, those of you who are new or you're struggling a little bit, to give you a chance just to go through that intro program again. And that way you will have a chance to review everything. And probably the second time I tell it to you, then you'll be like, oh yeah, I know what he's talking about. And it won't be new information anymore. And then the other tune we'll play each day will be something off of the the book 2 level. I don't know what to call it. I guess I'll call it book 1 and book 2. And so we'll do that stuff each day as well, so that way you've got your piece that you really should be working on, and then a stretch piece that will keep you busy. So that's it for the plan. Tell your friends that we are doing this here every day, and if they can't make the live session, it's on recording every day, and they should. If they want to catch up to you, they got to go back to August 24th is when we started this 6-week series, and then we will start the new 6-week series on October 5th, which is next Monday. And in Next Level Ukulele today, we are playing Ain't We Got Fun? Da 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 dum, da 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 dum, dun da da dum, dum bum bum bum, da da dun dun, ba da dun bum. Bum, ba, bum. It's about being poor, is what the song is about. So it's from 1921. It's a delightful little tune, and so if you want to come check that out, we'll be doing that in the next hour. Hope you guys are having fun. I hope that when you get to a song that's too hard, don't despair. There should always be songs that are too hard for you. This might be one of them, right? And then you go straight to the melody. You're like, that song is not for me yet, but I'm going to get where I can just play the melody. Gary said to use the 4s. I'm going to use my pinky on stuff. So make sure you're giving yourself permission to fight your way through some of these harder songs by making them easier. Okay, that's what I know. I'm going to end the stream. Do good. Be safe. Practice. Keep showing up. That's what makes the difference between being a player and not being a player. And then like and subscribe. And you guys are all busy with your ukuleles and not talking to me anymore. So I'm going to sneak out of the back room door. And I have 400 voicemails, so I should probably go listen to those to see how much business I'm losing. And I will see all of you tomorrow or later today. Have a wonderful afternoon, and off I go.